I'll teach you guys quickly how I really go about my day in terms of, let's say I have a nice beautiful busking performance or something like that, and I want to review my content. So you can see all my videos here, but you have to understand it's 1 minute long. You can see 8 minutes long. You can see 46 minutes long. You can see 21 minutes long. You can see there are multiple videos that I have to watch. So what do I really do to make sure I can study my life better? And how do I really self-reflect upon myself? So let's start with my nice beautiful busking video today. I mean, you can understand either way that I have a nice beautiful toggle button over here, and then I just go and check out all the images first. I check out what's going on in terms of my body and how am I really doing extra. So I go this way and then I go that way. I understand either way. I go left and right so I can understand totally what's going on around the picture. So who's standing, I mean, who's sitting at the back over there? I mean, I'll go and look at the left side over here in terms of just the left side over there, in terms of who's sitting on the left side over here, and then I'll go on the right side and who's sitting on the right side and for how long. I mean, you have to understand that are they gauging me? I mean, are they looking at I much? I understand these people over here are looking at myself in terms of I, or is they interested in I? Although who else is interested in I in the background over here? I mean, I just want to see their reactions. I mean, you can see this you can see this gentleman's looking at you. You can see it, for example, over here. I go and I'm just looking to see who's interesting over here and who's curious about myself. I understand people behind me. You can see these two people over here are talking and having a conversation about myself in terms of how I do everything. So either way, you can see the first video. You can see my reactions over here. You can see nobody's approaching me in this video. Although I have a next video, for example, over here. I understand I have a new tactic over here. So this is what I do in terms of I go into just watching the images really quickly, and that's how I really do Netflix as well. I just look at all the images like that. I never listen to the audio in Netflix. I just watch the images. But this is how I learn. And now I look at myself, for example. I'm looking at myself, and I'm still looking at myself. I'm looking to see, hey, I have a nice, beautiful stance. I have a beautiful posture here. I look at this way. I understand either way. I'm very positive. I'm very positive. And then guess what? I go and see the actual postures of what's going on and who's approaching me. So I see this gentleman over here is just approaching me, and he's very observative over here. You can see him over here. I realize he's very jumpy, and he's jumping around. You can see I'm just teaching him something, and then you can see over here I'm just teaching him all the way through, and then his friends jump in. You see, you can see his friends jump in to ask me a question and whatnot. I understand what's important. You can see how I just back off a bit. I back off a bit, and you can see either way, I'm still gathering a nice, beautiful way of composure. But you can see the nice, beautiful postures. So the postures are just standing around, and they're not really, let's say, aggressive. I mean, they're not hitting me. I mean, they're just standing around and here to learn something. But you can see, for example, that this gentleman comes in from what stage in terms of life? I understand at 21 minutes of this video. I understand either way that throughout the whole video, I realize now 46 minutes and 21 minutes. I realize that's 26 minutes in the video that they are around me in terms of these guys are around I. In a sense, so either way, this gentleman is with me for longer than the other ones. So either one, or else either way, he's with me from 20 minutes on to where? I mean, into the 39 minutes. So he is with me for 20 minutes before, or else he is with me for 20 minutes before these other guys join in. And then these other guys join in, and guess what? I realize that this guy over here is much more confident than the other ones. I mean, in a sense, so either way, you can understand that. Whereas now, because they join me, you can understand that it's much more of a positive scenario when they all join you. So either way, what you can do is call them over. So when you're having a conversation with other people, I mean, call them over closer so they can come closer with you. And that way you can understand why it's much more positive when everybody can see you in the video with them, and also when other people can see that other people are joining you in the video. Or it's much more positive to get people in the video. For example, you can see it's much better to have this many people in your video than it is to just have this guy in your video, for example. I understand, although I go into the background again, I go to see on the left side, and I want to see who's that over there. I mean, they're doing something on the phone over here. I mean, you see the guy on the corner there, or he's just looking around. I mean, he's looking at me. I mean, I just want to see the reactions over here. I understand this woman over here is stopping by to do something, although she's looking at me also. I mean, who else is on the left side over here, and who's coming over here? I just go look at the small details of life. I understand this guy's turning around a bit. I understand all the, you can see this guy over here. This guy comes to say something and then he leaves. You understand? I promise you, although then you can see, for example, I just go to the left side. You can see that family right there on the left side. Whereas they're just watching me. I promise you, they're aware of me. Whereas that guy's just aware of me. He's looking at me right now. You can see that guy on the left side in terms of where the seating is, where the woman and guy is, just behind the legs of this guy. When I show you that, you can see that they're watching me. And now they're watching me for how long? Whereas they're watching me for about 5 minutes. And so either way, you can see you're just getting some time calculations. And guess what? I realize either way, these guys just come in, and you can see now I go to the right side, for example. I want to go and see on the right side over here what is happening. See on the right side, I see these women over here. I get some looks from that Asian girl. I see either way. Who else is? See this guy on the right side? He's looking at you. You can see that guy's looking at me right now. I see either way. He's aware of me. I can see everything. I have 4 eyes. You understand? My camera is my extra 2 eyes in life, so I can see behind me. I can see what's going on. I have camera footage. I can see the reactions of other people who are just walking past, for example. Look, you can see these people over here. They're looking at me, you understand? So people are aware of me. I understand this woman over here is walking and looking at me also. I understand these guys, whoever walks past me is obviously, you can see these people over here. They're walking past and watching me, you understand? So, that's just something that you can do, but I would just want to watch the right side over here. I see the right side, I see some people sitting over here. I understand either way. I understand that guy is not watching I at all. I understand although these people, I see that guy right there. I see that guy who looks like a Santa Claus. I understand he's watching me. How long is he watching me for though? He sits at 22 minutes. And then what happens over here? How long is he in the video for? He's in the video for about 5 minutes. Although, this new crowd over here sits over here and starts to watch me. I understand they start to watch me, and I understand the kids, but you can see that Santa Claus man is around, or is he still around, isn't he? Or is he talking about me in terms of I, or is he saying, hey, you must be this guy over here? You must understand that he's really, really positive. You see? So either way, I realize I realize that Santa Claus, I realize that guy's around for how long? For about 10 minutes. I realize he's around, but he goes somewhere and then he goes to the kids. You see him? The guy is just walking over here. So when he walks, I want to see how he approaches these guys.
I'm young, and that's how you age better. Anything that's really, really adding information into your life is aging you better. So I'm giving you ideas upon guiding you with those ideas upon how to really live your life. But you have to be talking as fast as I do.
Yeah, right.
Guess what? You have to talk as fast as I can. Or else, do you understand?
You want me to talk faster?
You see, he just approaches these kids again. You see, so that's something that I can learn about what's going on around me. So either way, you can see this guy over here, he just goes and then comes back around to talk to these kids.
You talk as fast as I can in front of a video every single day in busking, like I do.
He's definitely saying something about me over here. I promise you. He's definitely giving me some words of encouragement and saying, you guys over here must start doing what you see this guy doing over here in terms of public speaking. And you can see they're turning around to face me also. So I understand, although, that it's a nice, beautiful footage, that you understand that what's amazing is focus upon making sure that you go and really look. You can see this Asian woman on the left side is watching me also.
And you understand why you can be much more inspirational.
That's right.
You can see the guys behind me in terms of the lady and the guy. I promise you the guy's looking at me. I promise you this woman over here on the left is watching me. I promise you these other guys are watching me also. So I have eyes on me. You have to understand, you have to be the center of attention.
It gets so boring.
You see now they leave, but these kids are around that nice, beautiful seating from 25 minutes to how long? It's 25 minutes and 35 minutes. Now either way, they're around for 10 minutes, but then this guy sits down and he's watching me as well. Now you can see his eyes. He's aware of me. I understand either way. I can see that. I understand. Although you can see these other guys are running skateboards around. Now who else is behind here? I understand this guy over here. He looks Indian or something. I realize he's watching me over here. You can see. Anyway, I promise you now, what I want to look over here, I want to look at the body language of these other guys. You can see the body language. You can see the body language together of me and this guy. You can see how we're actually rolling over here. And then together like this. I just go and do that a bit. I just want to see the body language extra. And then extra, I mean, you can also just make sure you can watch to the side. You can see other people's reactions over here. So just people that are walking past, for example. I mean, you can see over here. You can see kids, for example. I mean, you can see these people. You can see these guys over here. I mean, these guys are just standing around. You understand? I mean, they don't want to watch. I mean, they want to watch over here. I understand. So you just go slowly, and then you just realize that there's so much details that you just have to see. So it's all the small details I give attention, but you can see this guy over here. I mean, definitely this guy on the left. I mean, that guy does drugs. I promise you. I promise you. So never look. I mean, never look anything like that. So that's something that gives me an idea that, hey, this guy may have a knife on him. You understand? So I realized that. So either way, you must understand. I just want to give more attention to what's happening around me. So I see other people are looking at. I mean, this guy over here. I mean, this guy over here. I mean, look how he dresses. I mean, you never dress like that. You understand? I mean, understand he looks like somebody who's homeless. You understand? So realize you must dress better. I mean, there's a big difference. You must understand either way that this over here, you can see some older generation people. You must understand either way. You can see she's watching me over here. I mean, she comes past I to watch I. I mean, you can see her. And then you can see the small details, you understand? So it just makes a big difference. I mean, this woman over here is definitely curious about me. I mean, she's just curious about I, and she's turning around and everything. And although you can see these other guys also, I mean, these people over here. I mean, who else? I mean, you can see over here, for example, you can see this individual. I mean, who's this? I mean, I just want to make sure I can see people. I can see who's positive. I can see who's jealous. I mean, you understand? Although they're not approaching me, you understand? So either way, you must understand that I just need to get a feel for what's happening. I need to get people's reactions. So this one here is positive about I. Now this little kid over here is watching. You see, she's watching. And now you see that's positive. And guess what? You can see over here. You can see people over here. You can see these people. I mean, you can see this one loves me. I mean, this one behind me. I mean, she loves me so much. You can just tell. You can tell by her look. I understand either way that what's amazing is you get eyes like this, and you get eyes from women or something like that, and they give you this look like they just want you. I promise you, although you must understand that you just go like this, and you see this guy over here is watching. This guy saying, "You're very positive. You're very positive, mate." You know, so either way, I mean, that's how I just go about it. But then I just go and see the reactions, because they believe that somehow I understand either way that these people can actually see that I'm talking to people, but some people never see that I'm actually recording them. You have to understand that because I'm recording them, I realize some people do not realize that. I understand, although I do realize, and that's the most important aspect. Whereas either way, I realize that I have to record them so I can see that these people are happy. I mean, they're happy that I'm doing something. I mean, you can see she's very inspirational about I. Whereas either way, I see this guy over here looks very angry. I mean, this guy over here, I mean, this guy looks very angry in life. I mean, in a sense, I never look like anything like this. I mean, look how angry that is. I understand. I mean, come on. I understand. So you can see in the corner over here. I mean, people watching me in the corner over there. I mean, where the shop is, and you see on the right corner. I mean, that guy's watching me. I mean, these guys are turning around. I mean, some guys are walking around. I mean, you see this guy over here. I mean, this guy comes close to me. I mean, I'm unaware of them, but I understand that either way, I'm just focusing on communication over here. So people are walking around me, and I want to see them. I want to be able to go and really, really capitalize. I mean, that guy turns around over here. When that guy stands around, see that guy over there in the yellow shirt? I mean, over there in the yellow sleeve shirt up there. Or else he's standing around and just watching me. You see? And then he goes. And that's that. I realize that's just one video there. But then I have another one over here. I continue the video. Whereas now, since I continue the video, I go and check out this, or I say, all right, I have extra people coming up in the video over here, but I want to see exactly my body language. I look at my body language here first. I look at just me in terms of my body language. I just want to look at I today. Whereas now, when I look at I just want to see how I am really functioning around these people, and how am I really doing anything around these people. And now I understand either way my body language is beautiful, or I see the back of my bum over here. I understand everything's tucked in. You understand? So I'm always making sure I look at what's going on over here. I understand either way I'm looking nice. I understand my pants, I realize they look, let's say, folded up and all that, although it actually suits the color. I realize this actually goes and it's some fashion trend or something. But understand either way, what's amazing is now I look at these three with I look at their body language. I look at the body language of these three right here. I promise you, I just look at the body language of them. I make sure I look at the body language of all these guys now. I promise you now, they're all approaching me over here. You see it's more how they all approach me, so they're all watching me over here. As you can see this, you can see I'm reading all of them over here. I mean, I can see their facial expressions. I'm looking at the facial expressions. I'm looking to see exactly what do these guys want from me. And you can see the guys behind. You can see the guys behind. I mean, they're just sitting around. I mean, since that was out of my view before, so either way, you can see the reactions of these guys over here. You see there's four of them. In a sense, so they just stand around. And I realize they're just behind these guys. I mean, look. I mean, they're behind these guys, and then they go to sit down. You understand? So, look. You understand? I mean, why did I do that? I don't know. I mean, guess what? You just focus on yourself. I mean, guess what? Either way, you must understand. I realize they just want to be somewhere else. You understand? So, guess what? I realize that's more inspiring. I realize that's actually more inspiring when you just leave. I mean, just go. I mean, why you want to be around me anyway? Understand? So just go over there somewhere. I mean, that's something of a nice, beautiful idea that when there's a crowd around me like this, and you're part of that crowd, I mean, just go away. I mean, look at these guys over there. I mean, they're just going to sit somewhere else. You understand? Russia, that's much better for you to do every single day. I mean, don't be in the circle watching me over here. You understand? Because why? I mean, go about your life, man. I mean, you understand? I mean, why are you standing around with me? You understand? But I encourage you to understand that I'll coach you, but this is excellent for me. I mean, I love it. I love that you're around me. I love that you guys are around me. You understand? But try to go and do your business. I mean, you have to understand, you have a multi-billion-dollar business. I mean, go around yourself. You understand? So what's amazing is these guys over here need to be much more inspiring in terms of that, to have much more inspiration in their life, so they want to be around me. You understand? But these other guys, I realize they get the picture. Whereas they go and sit down and realize, they say, hey, I mean, yeah, I realize that he's a leader or something, but I can do life by myself, you understand? Whereas they go back off, you understand? So back off from me and just go by your life. I mean, look at this. I mean, they all leave, you understand? So that's the whole point. I mean, just go away, you understand? So either way, I realize these guys are really into me. So I have to talk to them. I have to be able to just keep them. I have to keep them in my video as much as I can. So that's the whole point. That's the whole point, because I get all the attention, you understand? So you see, when these guys go and really, I mean, when they run away from me in terms of life, and they go at the back of there, whereas they don't want to give me as much attention, you understand? So realize that what's amazing is I have a lot of information to give them. So I realize that I just go and do I'm not even giving them attention, you understand? I'm not even giving those guys attention anymore, you understand? I realize they're giving me more attention than I'm giving them, you understand? So that's the positive trait about this whole leadership role, is make sure that you understand that those people who are giving you attention, you give them attention when they're in your face, you understand? I mean, look at me, I'm giving them attention, you understand? Because they're in front of me. I have to be able to lead them. I have to be able to give them ideas. But guess what? I realize that I'm only in it to make sure that I can grow them and everybody. And then guess what? I realize they're eventually going to leave, you understand? So what's amazing is they're giving me attention. I have all these guys watching me, you understand? I have all of them watching me only. Or else they're not watching anybody else except I. You understand? So I'm the leader here. I'm the leader. I have the microphone. I mean, they're just standing. You understand? I mean, they're just standing around. You understand? So what's amazing is I have their attention, and that's the whole point. You have to keep their attention. So keep this. I mean, keep the fame. I mean, keep the legacy as much as you can. I mean, try to talk so much that they just stand around. You understand? Because that's the whole point, and you're convincing them. I mean, I'm convincing them over here to stand with me from the 21st minutes, I mean the 21st minute to, let's say, over here. I mean, what's this? I mean, the 40th minute in the next video. So for 1 hour, you understand? I mean, these guys are around me for 1 hour, you understand? I mean, I keep their attention because I don't want to tell them to leave. I want to make sure that they are in my videos so that I can go and really, really vibe with people, you understand? So guess what? I realize another guy approaches me over here. And starts to really, let's say, criticize me in a negative way. Although this guy over here, I promise you, this guy over here is criticizing me the whole time in a negative way, and he's giving me a bit of positivity here and there, but he's mainly just complaining about everything I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? So what do? I mean, look at what I do. I'm mostly interviewing him. I'm just putting the microphone next to his mouth so that everybody else gets some ideas. You understand? because he doesn't want to get. I realize he doesn't want to let me speak. I realize he doesn't want to let me speak. I realize he wants to just speak around me. You understand? I realize he just wants to talk and talk and talk and talk. You can see. You can see. I'm still interviewing him for how long? I mean, check this out. Here. Why aren't I really, let's say, interviewing these other guys? I realize they're not asking me questions. I realize they're just people who want to read from me. I realize they're just people who are much more curious about I and what I have to say, and they have nothing to say. It's not that I realize that I know only I. You must understand that what's amazing is when you know something, you just know your I. But what's amazing, you have to understand that they don't want to ask me questions. I ask them, hey, ask me questions so that you guys can speak more. But then if they're not speaking, I have to speak. You understand? But then this guy comes in, and this guy just wants to pound me with information. He just wants to give me all the information. So what do? I'm a student now. I'm a student the whole time. I'm still a student. I'm just making him give me all the. I'm just letting him teach me everything. You understand? So what's amazing is I'm not sick. I'm just realizing I have to just interview him like that. I have to just be able to realize that I may reply here and there, but it's mostly him talking. You understand? It's mostly him talking all the time. For how long? You can see over here. I have to see exactly how long I keep his attention. So I'm keeping his attention in another way. And what I'm doing over here is he comes in the video at what time? Or as he comes over on here. Or as he comes over here at 22 minutes. Or as now 46 minutes. Or as for 25 minutes, I keep his attention. And how am I doing that? I'm shining the microphone at him. I'm shining the microphone at him because he just wants to talk. I realize either way, I'm keeping his attention, you understand? Because sometimes when they want to talk over you, just interview them and they're just going to stand around with you. You understand? So what's amazing, you can see that. You can see if I went to argue with him and I said, get lost, he'll just run away, you understand? So don't make them run away. Try to keep them and their attention for as long as possible. But look at these guys over here. Guess what? I realize this guy bombards me right here. He bombards me and he comes into my video right here. And it's unexpected. I realize I didn't expect him to come. But guess what? I realize I'm always expecting people and more people to come like this now. Because I have more experience, you understand? So either way, I realize what happens is these guys just have to listen to him. Or they're listening to him for some time, you understand? And he's very negative on me. You understand? So they actually, they just leave, you understand? Because they see that this guy's negative. You understand? So either way, I say goodbye to them. I realize that my reaction over here is I say goodbye, I thank you. Whereas either way, you must understand that this guy over here is so negative on me that these guys, I realize he made me lose the crowd. Although, guess what? I realize I gained something else in return. I gain a better definition of how to go on without them, you understand? So what's amazing is, I realize these guys have to leave anyway, but you can see that these guys are just standing around. They're just standing around, and I realize that as soon as this guy comes, I realize I have to leave, you understand? But because they're around me, I realize because these guys are around me, I realize you have to understand that it's really, they understand that they have nothing to do, you understand? So look at this other guy over here. Who is this guy? Some other guy is standing around over here, you understand? So he's just standing around and watching. And so either way, I realize he's interested in I. He's curious about what's going on. So either way, you can see that people are interested in I. Why is that? Because I go and busk on the street. I go and do street performance, and I go and do something that's relatively, let's say, something that helps I to succeed. So either way, I understand that I'll just keep going, but it's amazing that I just go and start really, let's say, recording this audio program with my nice, beautiful way of saying that it's my microphone, where I can go and connect my microphone together. And understand either way that what's amazing is I'll let it be for this time, or I'll let it be for this one, and understand either way that if I shall try, understand I shall try in a different manner. Understand what's amazing is always try different ideas. So let's have a look over here. This guy over here comes for a certain period of time, and when he comes, or as right here, I want to see the time limit. I realize now that's 22. I realize now at 22. I realize at 22, and then here at 37. I realize now they're with me from 22 to 37. Well, that's about 15 minutes. You understand? They're around me for 15 minutes with this guy. You understand? And then I realize they leave. But that's what happens. You understand? But then I still have attention. I still have something much better. I understand this guy's much better who's talking to me. And why is he much better? Because he's actually speaking to me and I'm learning something different now. I promise you, as soon as I turn my attention to him, or else I'm just focusing on him. I mean, do you see? I mean, where is my head? I'm just focusing on him. You understand? I'm focusing on him the whole time. I'm focusing on him. I'm focusing on him. I mean, these guys have to go because they realize I'm not even focusing on them anymore. You understand? So either way, I have to focus on the individual. I have to focus on the individual who's talking to me. You understand? So either way, for sure, that's what communication is. I mean, do you see my head? I mean, that's what you have to do. So you teach people through images. I mean, look, I mean, I'm just intently on that guy in terms of I'm just listening to him. You understand? Because he's criticizing me negatively, and he's giving me some positive feedback here and there. But look, I mean, understand from 22 minutes to to the end of the video, I'm just intently on him. You understand? I mean, 22 minutes, and then guess what? Well, that's 44 minutes. I mean, that's really 24 minutes. You understand? I mean, just focusing on him, and you can see my head. I realize my head is just on him the whole time. You can see my head is just on him. You understand? So either way, I have to focus on people I talk with. You have to talk to people, and for example, when you're focusing on people, you talk to them and focus just on them. I mean, focus on just them and focus just on them so that you can understand how to communicate. But then what you do is when they are talking, you just look at them. You just look at them. Forget everything else because you want to grab this guy's attention. You want to grab his attention because if you're focusing on other people, I mean, if I look at somebody else now and he's talking to me, or else it doesn't really go, does it? Or else so I just focus on him. You understand? Because he's the one talking to me. So I look at the ones that are talking to me. You understand? Or else either way, I mean, let's go and check out what else is happening. But let's check out his body language. I mean, look at his body language. I mean, that guy in terms of the white guy, you can see he's walking around. Or else he's overweight. You can see he's overweight. You understand? I mean, he's not healthy with his. I mean, that guy is not healthy. You can see that he's lacking health. You understand? So either way, you can see over here what's going on. And then I realize either way, I'm just learning and growing. And then I look at all of them. I look at all of these guys to see exactly how they're moving around me. You understand? I just do some of that. I do some of this over here. And then I learn. And these guys are getting bored. I understand. Although now I just go to the left side, for example. I go to the left side over here. I go and check out. I see that guy on the bike over there. I mean, he's looking at me. I understand either way. I mean, that's a small detail, you understand? I mean, either way, it makes a difference. I mean, who's that guy there? I mean, you can see that guy's just walking. And he's obviously looking at I. I mean, in a sense, so I have a crowd around now. And you can see what's going on over here. You can see that woman there is watching me right there. And either way, I'm just watching. I'm watching. But then, guess what? Look at the right side, for example. I mean, look at the right side. There's a crowd here. There's a crowd watching me. I mean, you can see these girls are watching me, and you see the women are watching me. And then that woman there, I realize she adds me on Facebook in terms of my Instagram. In a sense, so either way, I realize you see these. I mean, look at these people over here. You can see they're watching me. Yes, and I mean, just go and see for yourself. And then some guy joins her, and you can see that she's obviously watching I. You understand? And that guy is just trying to talk her up, but also watching I. And so either way, you can see right here, for example, you can see crowds walking by. You can see this guy over here. You can see I just want to see their reactions, and you can see this guy over here. And so I'm learning something. You can see people's reactions. They will, and or else they are watching you, and they will watch you. You see, when he stands around, a bit. I mean, look. I mean, this other one is watching me as well. You can see this. See, this guy stops a bit to see what's going on. You see, when they stop, you have to involve them in the conversation as well. So it's nice and helpful to do so. So when you're doing this, you just understand either way to just relax and just enjoy. Whereas either way, you must understand that when I go and just look at this over here, I can see right that. Although I understand either way. I mean, some other people are just walking past I, for example. Who's walking past? I mean, you can see over here. I mean, some guys are. I mean, you can see over here. I mean, people walking past me right here. I mean, people walking past me. I mean, this guy's standing around. You see? I mean, this guy's standing around. I mean, these people watching me over here. And you can see their reactions. I mean, you can see. I mean, you can grab the ideas of what you can do, Then a crowd. I mean, a crowd's coming past. I mean, these people watching me over here. I mean, who else is watching? I mean, there's that woman over here. And there's this man over here. And now, is this necessary? I'd be saying, yeah. I mean, it's necessary to just get some ideas. You understand? So this guy's a security guard or something. Whereas now, either way, I'm watching, and then I realize that I just get new ideas. I'm getting new ideas. I'm learning about the crowd around I, and this guy stands up, and he starts to watch I as well. You can see how it is. You can see their facial expressions. You can see how they look like. You can see they're just people who are going in the city. You see this little girl is watching me, and she turns her back to see I, and then they go off. And what's happening over here? I mean, this guy's watching me over here. I mean, you can see either way. You can see how they stop. You see the grandpa over there is watching I. Either way, you must understand. Now, I just go through my nice beautiful video like this, and when I learn, I mean, you can see that guy's watching. You see now, there's always going to be people who are watching you and what you're doing. So you just have to focus upon making sure that you just see them. I mean, look. I mean, you can see now that these people. I mean, this guy looks jealous. I mean, he looks very jealous. I mean, him. I mean, actually, I mean, I'm pretty sure he looks sincere. I'm pretty sure he looks sincere. And either way, I'm pretty sure it's either way. I just understand that's just the way it is. And then I see some guys on the bikes as well. I mean, look. I mean, these people over here. I mean, small details, but it makes a difference. I mean, you see. I mean, that's the kind of reaction I get, for example, on the street. So that's how you can expect to see yourself as well in my shoes. You understand? So when you put yourself in my shoes, you get that reaction. You understand? So you're always learning. I mean, look, and these guys over here are turning their backs in a way that they just turn around a bit. I mean, you see that guy's turning around, but there's the other guy turning around though. And there's some woman over here, for example. I mean, there you go. I mean, the other guy's turning around as well. So obviously, I can see people watching I understand either way. You can see over here. You can see what's going on. I understand either way. I just make sure I'm growing. I understand when I'm growing. I'm looking for ways to improve. You see this other guy's watching me. See, you can see how they're just more reactive towards I when there are more people around I, because I have a crowd around I, so everybody wants to be watching I mean, that's the whole point. So the more people you drag along with you in your video, the more people want to watch you. And so you're just something you're the center of attention, and that's that. Now that's just one video, but then I have another one. I have another 2 videos over here. So what I do is I just go and check out my nice beautiful video over here again, and I look at him. I'm attentive, you understand? So for another 46 minutes, so for another 1 hour and 10 minutes, I'm just looking at him and more. As for another hour and 10 minutes, and around that, I'm still watching him. So it's another hour and 40 minutes altogether. I'm just focusing on actually just interviewing this guy, you see? And I mean, where's my head going? You can see it's just clearly on him, you understand? And I'm just interviewing him, but he doesn't let me speak. Or else he doesn't let me speak much, you understand? And why is that? Or else it's because he's giving me negative criticism. I realize he's also giving me information, but he's giving me positive information along the way, but he just wants me to go somewhere else, you understand? Although you can see his body language here. You can see his body language. You can realize you can see he's attentive, and you can say that he's not aggressive. I mean, he's not aggressive, but you can say that he wants to teach you something. You can see he's not anything like, let's say, I mean, look at how he dresses, for example. I mean, he dresses in a way that says, hey, that he's just the average guy, you understand? I mean, just the average guy, and average Joe who just wants to have a greater life, you understand? I mean, that's how he's dressing up, you understand? So either way, that when you see that, I'm just somebody who's much better than an average Joe, because I understand either way that you can see my clothing, for example. You can see that either way that we're showing different, but I understand it's very, very much more likely that you understand that he came to me, for example, you understand? So I have value over here. I have better status. I understand, although, that when you look at the nice beautiful crowd over here, you look at the nice beautiful seats on the left over here. I mean, who's down there? in the left seats over here. I understand it's, although it's, I realize at this time, I understand it's actually getting, let's say, late for people to watch me because they're actually going away. I understand it's around 6 o'clock. I understand either way that it's actually getting cold as well, so they just want to go. I mean, either way, these people are watching me. I understand when they're watching me, I just focus on watching them. I just focus on watching, and I focus on bettering my communication. Whereas when I do that, I can also do it anytime. But I realize, although you can see this bike guy, I understand either way, this guy was showing up before. I understand either way. Now what's amazing is you see, for example, the other people. I mean, who are the other people over here? I mean, you see this guy over here. I mean, who else is walking by? I mean, these guys are walking by. I mean, this guy's turning around. In a sense, so either way, you can see what's going on. I mean, people are just walking by. In a sense, so I see the reactions, and every single second is worth it. I mean, everything in terms of this is worth it to just see what's going on. I mean, you understand? I mean, you can see, you can go even slow motion, and you can see the actual slow motion pictures of how the reactions are as well. You understand? I just look at the body language of the video, for example. So I see people just walking by. I'm looking to learn something over here. I'm looking to learn at their reactions and how people are actually looking at me. So you can see over here, for example, I get some extra details, you understand? I mean, this one over here is watching me as well. I see either way, you can see how it's just a perfect example of how to really, let's say, backtrack and actually go through your videos and look at detail in terms of what's going on, you understand? So, I mean, you can see this guy on the scooter, for example. I mean, of course they see me, or either way. Whereas anybody who walks past me can see me. And so I just want to see the reactions. You can see it's a bit windy outside, and you see the little baby. You see he's watching I, and either way, you can see that just this guy already. I mean, this guy just leaves the bike there and then goes somewhere. Whereas either way, you can see over here on the left side, and people walk by. I see either way. You can see these people over here. I mean, that's how it is, and you just have to understand that you just have to be growing your communication skill. But this guy goes to block my camera. You understand? I mean, he's blocking my camera because, I mean, he's showing me the technique of how I mean, he's showing me how I annoy him. You understand? Because he wants to annoy me. I mean, he wants to get under my skin. You understand? So he stands in front of the camera. You understand? I mean, he's trying to do anything to, let's say, make me angry. So either way, I'm just a student, you know. I'm just learning from somebody who hates me. So what I do is I just listen and I just say I love you, I thank you, and you can see this other guy is jogging around me. I mean, there's some guy jogging around here. And here he is. I just have to see his reaction. So you just have to go slowly sometimes. As he's jogging, as the guy's jogging, as you can see, and then who else is over here? And then I have just one more video, guys, so just go and really check it out. So either way, I mean, you can see, for example, I look at myself, and then I just talk with myself over here for about, how long? I'll talk with myself for 2 to about 19 minutes, yes. And so either way, I speak with myself for an extra 20 minutes over here, and then guess what? You can see I finish off the video. And so these other people are joining me over here. I don't know what's happening over here. I see these other guys. I see these guys watching. I see then this guy over here. You have to see this. I mean, this guy's jumping around and all that. And then guess what? I'll give him my business card as well. Alright, this is. I mean, check this out now. I mean, check this out.
Jealousy between you and me. Could be the fame, could be the money. I really don't care because I'm the headliner of this show and you're just there.
I mean, do you see this? I mean, he doesn't understand what to say anymore. I mean, understand? So, I mean, he's trying to get some attention here. But guess what? I go into his attention over here and I give him a business card. You understand? And when I give him a business card, I realize he loses sight of what to say anymore. I realize he's no longer in the actual attention. So what happens is now people can see that I gave him a business card, but look, you see how he's actually holding my business card up, and people are actually looking at me now. In a sense, so what's amazing is, watch this.
millionaire Jeff Bezos.
Thank you, boss.
No idea, bro.
You see this? You see now he tries to give me the actual business card back, and look what I actually do. I actually say no. I actually said that it's for you. I understand. I gave that for you so that you can have that. And he tries to give it to me twice, and then I say no, but it's for you. I understand. When you give someone your business card, I mean, try never to receive it back, because once you give it, I mean, try never to take anything back that you give. Understand? So I gave him my business card in hopes that I understand that I'll never ever grab that business card back again. Understand? Because I understand that once I give him my business card, I want to sell him to grab my business card and take it home with him. You understand?
You can keep it. I gave it to you. I gave it to you. Thank you, boss. You can keep that one. You can keep it. Thank you.
You see, he tries twice to actually give me the business card back. You understand? So I just say, I gave it to you though. I gave it to you. You understand? And he grabs it and he goes. You understand? So realize this, that you can see that people, you see now, for example, when he starts to rap over here, I realize he starts to rap, and then guess what? I realize I ruin his mode. I ruin his mode in a way that I never ruin his mode. I just understand I ruin his mode in a way that it's just a smart way to say that, hey, I'm the attention seeker over here. You understand? So what I do is I challenge him by giving him a business card, and look what happens. I mean, the crowd around him is, let's say, watching and laughing.
Then millionaire Jeff Bezos.
Thank you, boss.
No idea, bro.
You can keep it. I gave it to you. I gave it to you. Thank you, boss. You can keep that one. You can keep it. Thank you. Thank you very much. I'm a fashion model. I'm always fashioning.
You see, and now people are watching me, and you see this guy who hates me, or else he's saying goodbye, man. I mean, he's saying I love you, man. I mean, he came to criticize me for all this time. I mean, he came to hate me for one. I mean, he came to hate me for 1 hour, and now he's saying goodbye like that. You understand? So either way, or else he's showing me some positivity over here, and that he loves me. But then you can see, for example, that once I gave him the business card, or else they started to leave. You understand? So either way, you must understand that what's amazing is I ruin his mode in the way that I say that, hey, or this is my show over here. And so I gave you my business card. I mean, do you have any questions, man? I mean, you have to understand that they have no questions, so all they want to do is leave. You understand? Or that's what happens when people come into a video, or sometimes they just want to start singing their own tunes and they want to be in the spotlight. You understand? So this guy is trying to grab my spotlight over here, and what I do is I give him the business card and I say, hey, I'm in the spotlight right here, mate. You understand? So when I give him my business card, I say to him in that moment, hey, I'm in the spotlight. You understand? I'm in the spotlight also. And guess what happens? Otherwise, they have to go anyway. But what's amazing is I grab the spotlight from him.
With you.
You see this?
Thank you, boss. You can keep that one. You can keep it. Thank you. Thank you.
You watch
very much.
this.
I'm a fashion model. I'm always fashioning. I'm always making sure every single day I do something very positive. Thank you very much. I understand
You
either
see?
way. You understand every single day
You see, and now you can see they're watching me.
what's important is just make sure you continue your work, but understand every single day that my
I mean, they're watching my business card.
nice, beautiful plans is make sure that you continue your work every single day. So
You understand? So either way, you must understand that what's amazing is during somebody's singing, I mean, try to give them your business card while they're singing. You understand? So that's the kind of nice, beautiful gesture that I give you right now. That it's actually worth doing so, because that way you're in the spotlight. You understand? Because if you just let him sing, or else he may be singing for 5 hours, mate. You understand? So guess what? Or else now while he's singing, I mean, let him hold your business card as well. You understand? So either way, I mean, just grab a nice, beautiful attitude from that point. And either way, you must understand that now, since they leave, I realize I just look at this guy again. I look at him. I realize I can look at the slow motion pictures right here, and then I realize he gets scared about this guy. I mean, he's very scared of this guy. I mean, look. I mean, you can see he's very afraid of him. You understand? So either way, I mean, you can see now he's in love over here. I mean, he's actually. I mean, he's very in love. You can see this. You understand? I mean, the guy's charming him over here. You understand? So either way. Alright, now either way, I mean, he doesn't understand what's going on over here. I mean, he believes something is happening, but guess what? You must understand. I mean, you see this. I mean, now he turns around eventually and he says, "Hey, man. I mean, goodbye, man. I mean, just one look. Just one look," and he just goes. And so, just be doing that, please. I mean, look at that nice, beautiful idea. That it's just one look. You understand? I mean, hey, I mean, goodbye, man. I mean, you understand? And just, or else there's no second look, or else it's just one look and go. You understand? So that's amazing. Or else that's another beautiful idea that you can go and pick up. For example, where people just look at you one time and then just go away. And that's more enough to say, hey, it's more enough to say your true feelings. Understand? But he's very funny because for 1 hour and 20 minutes he hates me, and then he shows me one of these. You understand? He shows me one of those. I let him be. I let him be. I understand. I understand that guy's just. He's one of the biggest actors I've ever seen in my life. You understand? So either way, you must understand that when I go and see that, I go and see these other people. I see this woman over here, and she has some nice, beautiful legs over here. I understand either way that what's happening is I'm just looking at them. I understand they're watching me. I understand either way that what's happening over here is they leave, and then what happens over here now? I look at the crowd over here. I'm looking to see who is in the seats over here. Who's in the seats? It's getting late. She's the only one in the seats over there. Then I'm just going to look to see who's walking around me. Just one more time. Whereas now, either way, I pick up some ideas quickly. She's about to fall over or something. I don't know what's happening over here. I understand she is doing some camera work, and guess what? Whereas either way, it's just me in terms of my life helping I to succeed, but then somebody else drags themselves around here. Whereas these people come storming in. Whereas what else happens? Whereas this individual over here is running. I understand either way. And what else is going on over here? I just make sure that no matter what, you guys can see that I just finish up the video right here. I say that what's amazing is I just go and see what's this over here. I have another way to say that either way, you must understand that the video is just about to complete. You understand? So either way, I can see some guy comes over here with the bike again. It's that guy. You understand? So he's working around the area. You understand? So that's just it. You understand? That's all you can expect to see. But what's amazing is now you understand how to really go back on your videos. Whereas now, either way, you see all these other videos. Look, I just go over here. I go over here and I just check out my nice beautiful facial expressions at least. I look at myself. I see I'm very attentive over here. I'm very attentive to see my beautiful facial expressions over here. And I just rewatch the video. That's 1 minute. Who has time to watch it again? But guess what? I realize that I'll just go and really, really watch my facial expressions really quickly, at least, because I understand what words I really did use. I then go over here. I go and see really quickly my facial expressions. And then, you understand? I just go through the nice, beautiful videos like this. And either way, you must understand that if you shall understand something, I understand that either way, what's amazing is just go look at your facial expressions like this. But what's amazing is, for example, when I go on YouTube, for example, I'll just show you a quick one. I realize that either way, I'll make sure that you go and see my busking video just yesterday that I uploaded in terms of my eye. Whereas now, either way, you must check this out. I realize that you see this box screen over here. I realize if I ever want to rewatch my videos again, I come over here. Understand? I come over here and I just look at it quickly. Understand? I just look at my nice beautiful video quickly. So what I do is I move the cursor like this. I move the cursor just like this. I move it around so that it loads. I need my video to load. So what I do is I make sure I just load up the screen. I load up the screen a bit. I make sure either way that what's important is I take off the free Wi-Fi, because sometimes it's much faster to do so. And then what I do is I go and see my video like this as well. In a sense, so I can actually see what's going on in terms of this. So this guy joins me as well. And then you can see either way, I'm just talking and talking and talking and talking. Well, that's amazing. And either way, that's something you can do on YouTube as well, and just watch all the images very quickly. So that's a 2-hour image, you understand? But stuff is happening, you understand? So either way, you can go through all my videos like that, and then what you do is you just watch the image. You watch the image like this. You watch the image really quickly. You watch the image like this. Let it be that you understand that it's really that once it goes just loading, for example, I don't know why, but what's amazing is understand, you watch the full image like that, you watch the full image, and then guess what, you just do this, and
I welcome you guys into a nice beautiful communicational seminar today. I understand that what's important is communication work every single day, so you understand growth.
Guess what,
when you're growing every single day, you must understand how to speak. You must speak precisely in a better way. You must understand.
do you see that? Do you see that's YouTube Premium? So get yourself YouTube Premium and you have no advertisements. And then what happens is you can just play your video in the background while you're doing, for example, Instagram. When you go and do your Instagram and upload photos to Instagram, go and upload videos to Instagram while you're actually going on Instagram and doing something. For example, I'll show you.
Single day, and you're really increasing your spirituality every single day. You're focusing upon better communication skills every single day, because that's what helps you to succeed, and that's what actually helps you every single day to become the best you can be. Because those who actually can communicate greatness. So every single day you must understand that if you want to inspire people, you have to communicate. You have to communicate more. You have to understand if you want to live up to 100 years of age, you have to communicate that. Or else what's amazing every single day.
You see, guys, so either way, you must understand that my audio over here has a microphone, which is a dynamic microphone, and the reason I hear wind blowing in my audio is not because of my microphone that's attached to my camera, in terms of my video camera, or else it's the actual microphone I speak on, because it's a dynamic microphone without a head. And you must understand that when the wind blows on that microphone that I speak on, or else it blows the wind inside of my audio as well, because through the nice beautiful portable speaker is where the wind is coming from. So that's how I really found out. So either way, you must understand that, guys. I hope I taught you something in this video. So understand either way that it's something very much more inspirational. You understand that you go now and really do your life, and make sure that you're going and really picking up those ideas I gave you, so that you can go and learn something and be free to make sure that you're really much more inspiring. So just keep giving those ideas and understand how to now backtrack on your videos and inside Netflix, for example. Whereas if you go to Netflix, you understand either way, you can go and watch those images really quickly and never listen to the audio, but make sure you understand that there's much better audio that you can listen to about business and life.